Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time. So with 3 wins and no strikes yet, this is shaping up to be a pretty decent arena run, although you have to bear in mind things will get harder and harder as I go along, because it takes into account your win record when matching you against opponents. Now, I've mentioned that I think the arena is a great place for new players to, get more experience with the cards and to have something closer to a level playing field where you're not running into finely tuned professional decks all the time. That said, it's not necessarily the most efficient way to get more cards. You're usually going to be losing a little bit of gold. It takes 100 gold to buy a pack, and you should mostly be getting gold by just try and complete your daily quests whenever possible. It takes 100 gold to buy a pack. It takes 150 to play in the arena, but you always get at least one pack. Usually you get some other stuff to go along with it. So you're only losing 50 gold by playing the arena instead of just buying a pack. And that's why I like it, and I find it is a lot of fun. I guess we're going to keep him because I might get worse, so I might get more expensive stuff. But, interesting. But you're going to find that, like I mentioned last time, it's very difficult to get really high scores in the arena, to go positive, like 4 or 5 or more wins. And unless you're consistently doing that, you're actually going to be getting rewards that are similar to or less than the 50 gold that you're spending to play the arena. I still think it's worth it for the experience and just because it's fun. Now, he's only going to have 2 mana next turn.
What to do?
I'm not sure this is the right play, but I think the most aggressive thing I can do is definitely innervate and drop an Ancient Brewmaster. And remember, he bounces a friendly minion to my hand when he comes into play, but it doesn't trigger if he's the only thing there. Now, I'm doing this with the knowledge that it's pretty hard for a Druid to do 4 damage on turn 2. He has a coin, he can get 3 mana. He can maybe put out something that can fight this, but I'd be surprised if he could just flat out kill it. And as you see, he can't. This guy is interesting, like 3/3 for 3 perfectly good stats, and then his ability is only useful if your opponent has 4 or more minions, and then it's completely random. But he just steals something. He outright steals one of your opponent's minions. If they have 4 or more, the average, the weaker minions are probably not very good, but they might have a strong one, and because it's random, you might get their best guy. You never know. So I think the thing to do here is to protect my lead. It's tough though. I could use Wrath and blow this guy up. Just do 3 damage to him. I wouldn't get to draw the card as a bonus, but I'd get to hit my opponent with the 5/4, and I think I'm actually going to do that. The other choice would be to hit him for 5, and then give my guy taunt, so that he was forced to use this guy to take him out. But leaving him something alive is risky. He could give it +2/+2. There are a whole bunch of things he could do. So now we're just going to blow him up. Because I think this guarantees, well, not guarantees, this makes it very likely that I will get another whole turn with which to beat him with my panda. If I can get 10 damage out of this guy, it'll be well worth the innervate that I spend on it. Because he really did cost me 2 cards instead of 1. And you can see what a huge lead that it was compared to my opponent for this early in the game. It was pretty obnoxious. Now I could play him, but he could easily screw things up, right? If he does even 1 damage to the panda, then suddenly she can kill it without any other help.
What to do?
Don't think I'm going to get a lot of advantage from that otherwise. So, now I could kill her. My guy will survive. Still have 1 hit point left, which is not very much. Silencing her doesn't do any good. She has a battle cry ability, so in this case she didn't get to use it. But even if she had, silencing her wouldn't do anything about it. Once you play the minion, the battle cry goes off or it doesn't, but it's done. It has no more effect once she's in play, unless you got bounced somehow. So anyway, this guy's not much good. I think I'm going to want to give this taunt, hit for 5, and hit for another 1. I don't know if it's the best move, but, well, okay. I don't know if it's a fantastic move, but it does seem to be the best option I have right now. So he's probably going to be able to kill the panda now, but it should take a couple things. Oh, he finally got enough mana for Swipe. That's too bad. Now she's still here and big enough to kill this, so yeah, because my opponent's already taken 10 damage and I've taken none, it's to his advantage to just keep the battlefield clear as much as possible, while I'm trying to press the advantage on offense. And I'm going to do that by just playing the Auctioneer. It's not great. Normally, like in a constructed deck, you probably want to save him until you can play him and then cast a spell right away, a 1 or 2 cost spell, draw an extra card. I'm giving my opponent a free chance to kill him before I can do that, but I know I don't have a lot of spells. I probably don't want to use Savage Roar right now at this stage of the game anyway. It'd be kind of a waste. And I also have a backup one of these guys, so yeah, I'm probably just going to use him to attack the Taunt Goblin here. Although now I'm not, because I can just kill him with Bite. That's pretty good. So, I want to play the Mad Bomber this turn. He's, I just want, that 3-2, I just want him on the board. Currently his ability is actually not very helpful to me. But I'm going to play him before I kill this guy, because there's a chance that he'll waste some of his damage on this instead of dividing it between me and my guy.
Wanna blow something up?
I know that 1 or 2 damage to this guy won't mess up my play too much. What a horrible, stupid bomber. Like, he totally nuked my side and not the other side. But in this case, that was acceptable. I kind of knew it would happen. I get to draw a card from the Bite, and kill this guy with Bite. And the armor it gave me was almost as much as the damage he dealt, so it didn't even hurt that much. And now, once again, he has nothing on the board to kill my guys. He could use spells, he can use charge minions, or he can play another taunt to try and slow them down. But really, I've got control of things right now, as it stands. Ooh, that hurts though. Swipe is so good. I'm not going to go... I can't run through the whole list of all the damage, like, minion killing cards that are out there. There are a lot. But it's my choice for the best one in the game. And it's definitely... I don't think anyone could argue that it's in the top 4 or 5. So now I don't have as much good stuff, although this guy will interact really well with this, if any of his things survive. Probably just want to get out more minions so that I can Savage Roar, and if I have 2 minions out, 2 minions plus the +2 on me, this is doing 6 extra damage for 3 mana. It's pretty fantastic. Alright, we're going to cast him, and we're actually... normally want to save the Spellbreaker, but right now I want to get out more stuff to kill my opponent with. So I'm going to risk putting out all this stuff. I silenced something that didn't do anything. These guys have no card text. Well, he has no card text, and his doesn't matter once he's in play. Even if I silenced him and then returned him to my hand, returning to your hand clears silence and pretty much anything else that can happen to them, except casting cost changes. I guess I'm done my turn there. I was more willing to play him that way because I do have another one. So if he plays a taunt creature or something else that I need to silence, I can get rid of it still. Of course, I can just get rid of it with that. And I think I've got him dead. I'm not going to do the math, which is bad, but I'm just going to do this because I'm sure this is the best way to get rid of him. Just do 5 damage directly. Because it can only target minions, it can't target him. But then I go Savage Roar. I've got 6, 7, 8, plus the amount of damage my minions could already do. That's game over. Because I could still have attacked him for 2 with my my actual hero. So that worked out really well for me. 4 wins. See, the image of the key there keeps upgrading to show how more and more impressive your win total is getting. It wasn't really before, but now it's positive. Even if I win 3 games in a row, I've still won more than I lost. So that's a pretty decent arena run. And the further along I get now, the better the rewards that I will get. Other than the pack. I'm going to get a pack anyway, and the pack of cards is random. It doesn't matter where I got it from or how. Any pack is as likely to be good or bad as any other pack. You know what, this seems like a fine starting hand. I better leave it alone. I'd kind of rather draw the Sun Fury Protector later in the game, use her to give taunt to something else. This guy already has taunt, so that's no good, but just her being a 2/3 for 2 is pretty useful. Now, I'm going to squelch her, because that's what I usually do. I don't really care what emotes the other person's going to do. Now, the mage's ability is very strong, and it's even stronger in the arena. Just because of the limited card pool, this is a reliable way to kill minions. I mean, it takes 2 mana and it only does 1 damage. She can only do it once per turn. But if I play this and attack her, she can just automatically kill it on her turn. It doesn't cost her anything from her hand, so she can keep building up power that way. I'm going to play the Sun Fury Protector instead, because it would take a long time to kill it with this. In practice, she's not going to spend 3 turns shooting it to death. She's got to get out some minions of her own. She's going to use the coin that she got from going second. Blizzard has done a bunch of stats. When you play, you're going to get the coin and the extra card at the start, and it's really helpful that that extra card at the start means you have more options to mulligan, more options to like drop cards you don't like and redraw something else. It helps you control your starting hands. That's all pretty good, but Blizzard has done the stats and at all levels of play, and especially at the professional level of play. It's still more advantage to go. It's still more of an advantage to go first, because you get to play your 3 mana card before your opponent has a chance to. Then you get to play your 4 mana card before your opponent has a chance to. Then your 5 mana card, etc. And they can interrupt the sequence and do that once with the coin, but that's it. Maybe sometimes you can do tricks with the coin depending on your class and your spells, but there's only so much it can do. I think what I'm going to do here is give +2/+2 and taunt to her. And I'm just going to attack my opponent. I could use it to kill this guy. Harvest Golem is a super good creature, by the way. He's common, but he's a 2/3 for 3, which is not great. But when he dies, that triggers his Death Rattle ability. Like, that's what Death Rattle is. Just an ability that goes off when they die. And he gives you a 2/1 creature in his place. So if a big area spell comes down and kills all your minions, afterwards you'll get one of these guys. So you'll still have something out there. And it just generally takes a lot more effort to kill him than it usually would for a 3 mana creature. Unless, of course, he gets silenced, but I didn't have a chance to in time. So I think my option... I could just Kung Fu and kill this guy. But I wouldn't be able to do that much else in the meantime, so I'm going to play him. He only has 1 attack, but he has 7 hit points, which is a ton. It's going to take a lot of effort to get through him. And since this guy only has 1 hit point, he can't attack and survive. And of course the taunt means he can't attack anything but this guy. He can't just go around him and hit me in the face. Mages have a lot of options for killing minions. Most of the class-specific cards for mages are spells that kill stuff.
Pay attention, class.
So that's interesting. These are rare. So whenever my opponent casts any spell, like I have that guy that draws me a card whenever I cast a spell. She has the Violet Teacher here who will give her a free 1/1 every time she casts a spell, which is nowhere near as good as a card, but she's a 3/5 for 4 mana. She's pretty darn good. Let's see. So if I played this, I could give my guy +1 attack. Then, or the Wild, I could give him another +1. I don't know. I think my plan is going to be something like, if I play the Bluegill Warrior, put the Direwolf in between, then the Bluegill can hit her for 3. And this guy can hit her for 2. She'll die. I won't have much left, but I'll still have the Direwolf. So I think that's what we're going to do. I could silence her, but then she'd still be out there, and her, right now, the 3/5 is looking pretty big compared to the other stuff on the table and in my hand. Like, she wins against these guys. Once again, it's pretty darn good. If you can keep your opponent's side of the board clear, that reduces their options a lot. Because most things they play can't attack right away. He could have got lucky and killed one of these guys, but the odds were not that high. But there's that mage ability. Right? Anything that gets worn down, she can finish it off. Let's see. If I give this guy this can because it can give all my minions +1. I could make this a 3/3, but that's not big enough to kill him and survive, unfortunately.
What to do?
These guys, their silence isn't very useful right now, and just being a 4/3 isn't very useful. This guy costs half as much mana, and he can kill them. It's one of the reasons you'd usually rather have a higher defense. You want to. I think the ideal distribution of stats is usually have your attack and defense be similar, but the defense be the higher one of the two. That's usually a good way for your minion stats to be. I don't think I can do anything that I'm too happy with right now, so I'm going to attack her directly. I know I'm not killing him, even though I was just talking about that. But then I'm going to play the Ancient Brewmaster,
I'll put it on your neck.
return the wolf to my hand since it already attacked. And then I could play it again. I don't think I will, though. I think I'm just going to play the 3/2 Panther. I'm not sure which way is really smarter. The idea of playing the Panther is that next turn I could play this guy between them and give any of them who are still alive the attack bonus that they could use right away. But by leaving this guy alive, she has more options. She could cast a minion that has a battle cry that gives bonus stats to another minion, right? Plus she can attack. Let her control. If I had killed it on my turn, then she couldn't have done that to give the flesh-eating ghoul such a big bonus. Now these guys are both good to silence. If I silence him, he'll go down to a 2/3 and he won't grow anymore. So that's pretty good. If I silence him, it's kind of like killing that 2/1 that's going to come out of him later. Even though it doesn't affect his stats right now. I do need to get rid of this thing pretty badly, though. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I am going to silence this guy. Because otherwise anything I kill is making him bigger, or anything I lose is making him bigger, and it's just going to be bad. Then I'm going to kill that. Now, it's always a hard choice deciding whether to hit your opponent or clear the board. If you can actually clear the board, that's usually the best, but I don't know. I'm just doing what I can. And I'll use my shapeshift here to kill off the second form of the Harvest Golem. So I have two guys now. She only has one. He's not going to grow super large. He's almost certainly going to attack and sort of trade with the Ancient Brewmaster, so they both die. And of course, she could kill him off in many ways. A mage with 7 mana is very dangerous, because one of the common mage cards is Flame Strike. It does 4 damage to all enemy minions.
What to do?
If she cast that right now, it would kill both my guys, and she'd be free to attack me. But she's cast the Argent Commander's Head, and he is really good. His stats don't seem very big for 6 mana, but he has a high attack. And in his case, having a high attack instead of a high defense is good, because he comes with that Divine Shield. So the first thing that hits him, whether it's 1 damage or 10, just gets negated. Which means that combined with his charge means he can just come out and kill anything that has 4 hit points or less, and he'll survive. So what do I want to do? Silencing him doesn't have a lot of purpose. I guess I'm going to blow him up with Wrath. I'd love to be able to draw a card from the 1 damage version of it, but then I would have to use my Kung Fu, hit him, and I'd take 4. It's not worth it. So then I'm going to play the Spellbreaker. Even though he's not silencing anything, I feel like I need to get something out on the board. Battle Cry was wasted. And I'm going to do my Kung Fu. Using it does give me that extra hit point, which if I use it frequently over the course of the game, it'll help to reduce the mage's ability to just kill me. Mages have a lot of spells for killing minions. A lot of their spells can also damage players, so a mage can burn you down pretty fast if they have the right stuff in their hand. Now, secrets are very interesting. I don't know if you've seen any yet in these games. I have no way to find out what the secret is until I trigger it. But what's going to trigger it? I don't know. Depends on the secret. So, for example, there's one secret that would give the mage a copy of whatever minion I play. So I'm going to play my smallest minion first and see, is it Mirror Entity? Nope. The secret didn't go off, so that's not the one. Now, there's another one where if I attack the mage, she'll gain 8 armor.
Die, mate.
Or there's one where if I attack the mage directly, it will actually just kill whatever I attacked with. Let's see if it's one of those. It's not. It's getting interesting now. There's still a few things it could be, but what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to play a Druid of the Claw.
Where shall I strike?
And I'm so tempted to attack the fairy dragon and kill it, but then my guy will only have 1 hit point left. I'm going to give him... you know what, I'm going to do that. Why not? Yeah, I want to get rid of that. If the mage has an area spell now, I'm going to be in big trouble. So other secrets, it could be a counter spell, which does exactly what you think. If I play any spell card, it would use up the secret and my spell would just be wasted. If that's a counter spell. Oh, Blizzard, that hurts. It doesn't do as much damage as the Flame Strike I was talking about, but you notice it froze anything it damaged, so he can't attack this turn. Interestingly, if I had a way to silence him, it would get rid of the frozen quality and he'd be able to attack right away, but I don't seem to be able to. Now, I could cast the Starfall and do 2 damage to each of them and kill them all off. She's going to kill this guy on her turn with it, anyway, with her Fire Blast. I could use her or the Kung Fu to kill this guy. There's not much I can do to save him, though. He's doomed. This is probably a really dumb idea, but I want to find out if that's her secret. So I'm going to try to do 2 damage to all enemy minions. And it is a counterspell. Okay. At least now I know. Then I'm going to shoot him. I mean, she only has 1 toughness, so she can be fire blasted, but the mage can't get both of them in the same turn. For now, I'm going to use my Kung Fu on her directly. It's not looking too good, though. Our abilities each do 1 damage, and mine, like, if it was just a battle of the 2 of us and no cards were involved, I would win, because mine gives me 1 hit point and does 1 damage. Hers just does 1 damage. Hers is so much better for killing minions, though, because, of course, she doesn't take any damage back when she uses it. If I attack a minion that is large, I'm going to take damage back and it's going to hurt. But she has an army of cards and I don't, so my hit point advantage is going to dry up really fast. Oh, man. If this guy takes damage, he's going to gain attack. His is like a special version of Enrage, because normally Enrage is just if they have less than their maximum hit points, they get the Enrage power. If they get healed back up to full, they lose their Enrage. This guy, each time he takes damage, he gets +3 attack. There's no limit. If you can keep healing him or making him bigger or something, he'll become huge. The mage can do 1 damage to anything she wants, so instead of shooting me for 1 next turn, she's going to shoot this for 1 and hit me for 5. He'll be at 5/6. I'd be very close to being able to kill him with Bite and the Kung Fu, though, if I did that. I think for now,
For the wild.
I'm just going to hit her. I'm going to save this card, because I know that I only have 1 card in my entire deck that costs more than 6 mana. So, anything I draw other than a Stormwind Champion, I can play that card and this. So I'm just going to hope I get an opportunity to do something better to kill this guy, mostly. Because next turn she can shoot him again. He'll be even bigger. See, this is going to be like a waste of the Savage Roar, but I have to do it to get rid of him, I think. And I'm not going to be able to use it as a kill card this time. But check, this is going to be a really big Druid attack. Check this out. So we got Shapeshift. Bite. Savage Roar. I have an attack of 7, I can now kill this guy. Took out all my armor, but at least he's not there to, you know, she would have shot him again, and he would hit me for 8, plus this 6, 14 damage. I would have been nearly dead. I don't think I can come back from this, though. Oh, that's really bad for me, because he can attack right away. He's got charge. That's why his stats are so small for the cost, because charge is a really good ability. No, I can't do anything about it. I can play this guy, and she can't do much about him, but she can just hit me for enough damage to kill me. I'm going to kill him anyway, because I can. But I have 5 hit points left, and she has 6. I could just surrender, but I'm not too worried about her wasting that much time. She can kill me, it's fine. Enjoy yourself, although she shouldn't waste too much time. There you go. So, just in case you were wondering if I was going to go and never lose a game, I knew I was going to lose some games. And that's what happens. Because again, as long as your record keeps getting better, you will keep fighting harder opponents. So I'm 4-1, that's still a great run, but if I get 2 losses in a row, I'm out of the arena. We'll see if that happens next time. If you found that useful or entertaining, or if you enjoy cookies, hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Demonet Games for more Hearthstone Arena and other gaming videos.